So that actually worked really well, and I've just removed the guard for the belt, and I've removed the belt because obviously it wasn't 100% perfect. It did run and drive and it did mow, but there was a lot of noise coming from the deck, and I've established that it's this pulley here, or this spindle here, which needs new bearings, and the other side, this one isn't too bad, but let me just show you this one. That is so rough, but this one, that's pretty good. So we probably don't need to do the bearings in that side. This one though, yeah, that's just terrible. And obviously when that's running up at high speeds, that is just so loud. So yeah, we'll get this done, if I can do. I really hope we can do. Looks like there's been a bit of welding done on the bracket before. But yes, otherwise, I think if it wasn't for the noise, it would actually work really well. So, of course, I need to also sharpen the blades. So we'll do the blades as well. We'll flip it up in just a second, but let's just remove the pulley. It wasn't even tight. Hopefully this comes off. When these things are stuck, it is a bit of a nightmare. Actually, we do have a grub screw in there. Yeah, usually when you have the dome washer with the bolt, you don't have the grub screw as well, but there is a grub screw. So that is good. Let me just take that out, and then yeah, we'll keep soaking that, because it probably is stuck as well. Clean the threads a bit. Now, will this be stuck? I think what I'll have to do is use one on a ratchet. Hopefully we've got the reach. Yeah, there we go. But quite stubborn. Probably never been removed. And what's this? This is 1988. The engine at least, so it's probably 89. Probably assembled in 89. So that should be out enough. Let's see if it slides off now. Nope. Do we have any more grub screws? Nope. Okay. Joy. Like, ideally I'd want to put a harmonic puller on it, but I don't think we really can. Just squirt some lubricant in where the grub screw was. There. Yeah, so the air hammer did miss slightly. Little dent on the side there, but it won't affect the operation. Yeah, made in England, 5-inch. Nice. And yeah, a little dent on the top as well, but that won't make a difference. So at least that's off. Yeah, so what we need to do really is remove the blade, and then we can sort of remove this whole assembly and hopefully press out the spindle and then do the bearings. Got circlips. We've actually got some snap rings for the bearings, so we'll need to remove those. So there is the impeller. It's not too bad. Got a little chunk out there, a few chunks on the fins, but still, yeah, that's perfectly usable. and you probably can't get replacements anyway. So yeah, that bearing is so bad, or the bearings are so bad. There'll be two. So much twine, garden twine. So yeah, I'll explain why I'm removing this one fully in just a second. Let's lower it back down. So essentially, it's all one unit. It's all one assembly. Like this spindle housing is actually attached to this spindle housing, just to make it nice and easy for us. And not only that, but we do have more extensive cracking than I thought. It's pretty bad actually, it needs to be welded up, but it's not as simple as just welding it up because it's actually bent at the right angle. And if we can remove the whole thing, we can obviously bend it back and then weld it properly. But to remove that one, we have to remove it on this side, which of course means disassembling that. So, as always, it's never as easy as it first appears. I've never actually worked on one of these before. But I think it is doable. I'm going to do it, regardless of how difficult it is. Yeah, so that's the attitude. So let's remove this one, and hopefully it's not too stuck. I don't think this one will be as bad. I know, dangerous thing to say, but yeah, it doesn't have the big hole here, so it won't have had all the moisture sort of driving up into it. So we'll see. It's probably even worse. Of course, mustn't forget the grub screw. So we'll just spin it around. It already looks a lot cleaner. Maybe I can use this lighter duty one again. Let's just see. Huh, can't even find it. Maybe it doesn't have one. What? That's weird. Where's it gone? No, there actually isn't one. There is not a grub screw on that side. Interesting. Okay, well, in that case, yeah, fun. Well, we'll give it a soak. Let's just give it as much chance as possible. See if it takes this. No, we're going to have to use the air hammer again. Okay, well, it did work last time. I just need to be a bit more careful with that, I think. Perfect. Much easier. Good. My suspicions were correct. We can remove the whole deck, so we'll do that now. And I don't think there's actually anything else holding it on, so if I just lift up the back of the machine, that should move out of the way. Yeah, so I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but this bar here is very bent upwards, and well, somebody's already welded it into that position, which is a bit of a pain. Yeah, that is a bit of a pain. Could cut it, could redo it. We'll have to see, but first things first, let's just remove this assembly from the deck, and then we can really see what we're working with. So, 4 bolts on each side. Looks suspicious, doesn't it? But no, it's not what you're thinking. There was a drink incident. There we go. Right, so we can get the big deck out of the way, and we are left with this wobbly contraption. Oh, it's totally cracked. Pretty bad actually, really bad. Yeah, just not really built for commercial use. That it's just a really thin bit of box section. Anyway, we will make sure we can get the bearings out first. Oh wow, it's amazing. The side that sounded quiet has actually got a bearing in it, which is totally obliterated. It's lost so many of the ball bearings. How is that so quiet? So yeah, I had to do this. There was no two ways about it. It needs a full set of bearings. That went alright, but now you can really see just what's left of this bearing. This was one that sounded good, somehow, don't know how, but obviously that is stuck on there. We'll press that off as well. Still got the boss on the bottom, so yeah, just need to get it back to the bare spindle. It was inevitable, just means we're now stuck with that. Okay, so we've got the first spindle all done. Obviously needs a bit of a clean up, but I've got the inner race off that broke, and yeah, the stuck blade boss as well. So now we have the other one to do, so I'll get that done, and then we can work on fixing and welding the actual frame which holds the two spindle houses together. I find this to be a good way to do the inner race when it gets stuck, because, well, it's basically when you can't access the underside of it because we've got this little ring here. Otherwise you could use a bearing puller, but yeah, when you can't do that, I just weld two nuts on. The heat also assists with the removal, and then you can just press it off and it works pretty well. Okay, so that is the main frame straightened and welded, so all the cracks have been welded, and now I can reassemble it with new bearings. I also just wire wheeled the two shafts, so they should be easy to fit bearings to. Right, so that's one set. Right, there we go. So they're now ready to go back into the spindle hubs. Time for reassembly, and it's of course just really the reverse of the disassembly, so this should, hopefully, fingers crossed, be quite easy. Using some copper grease just to prevent it from seizing in the future, although sometimes it still does. There's nothing worse than stuck pulleys. Well, stuck wheels on a rider mower. You have to get stuck on the shaft, that's a nightmare. So you can do things to prevent it. It's quite a snug fit anyway, and that's been cleaned, that shaft. Okay, that's lovely. Nice and quiet. Okay, so these blades are not terrible, not great. I did search for that model number and I couldn't find. I actually did find the parts list, but when I searched the part number for these, I couldn't find them. But there is a possibility that another Flymo mower has the same blades, just with a different part number. But yeah, we're just going to have to sharpen these for today. And yeah, they'll work. They'll definitely work, but we'll put a nice sharp edge on them. The reason for cleaning them is so that we get an accurate reading when we do the balancing. Both blades sharpened, both balanced as well. You can see the gap here is the same on both sides. So yeah, they're ready to fit. You can see both the edges are equal, same angle, nice sharp edge. Okay, let's get these fitted. And there we have it. Perfect. Okay, so we can now refit the deck to the machine, but I'm just draining the oil currently. We'll put some new oil in, and well, it would be good to pressure wash the machine. We will see. Okay, that seems good. And there we have it. So it's all put back together. I need to put the air filter on. I've got a new air filter for that. Also new oil. So yeah, first things first, there's the air filter. So we'll get that fitted, and then fresh oil, and then I think we're going to be ready for a test. And it's looking a bit cleaner as well. My dirty gloves are making it look messy from the start. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we've got the new air filter in there. Now for the oil. Yes, as mentioned, I have already drained the oil, but there will always be some residue, so I don't know exactly how much we need to put in there. So we'll try it at that, just test it. Very close actually, yeah. Just below maximum. So I'll just give it a little bit more. That should do it. So let's give this thing a test, a proper test. Let's see if the repair work has worked. Hopefully it has. Hopefully the new bearings have made a massive difference. It shouldn't be anywhere near as loud. Obviously the engine will still be the same, but there was so much bearing noise. I don't know how well it picked up on camera. It's funny, sometimes it can be super loud in real life and then you barely hear it on camera. But I should think with how loud that was, it would have come through quite nicely. So let's go and give it a go. Let's go and hopefully mow some grass, like a larger area, unless it doesn't work, in which case we'll be back in here fixing it again. But otherwise, yeah, that is a good step in the right direction. Changing the bearings has definitely quietened it down, and it does seem to be fully operational, so that is a really good step in the right direction. Also, I think if you were going to use this on a regular basis, you would want to be cutting short grass, not long grass, because it does like to create a swath. It creates clumps of grass, so it's definitely like a regular weekly cut mower, that sort of thing. But anyway, yes, I think we're going to leave it there. On to the next project. Thanks for watching.